What's up, everybody? I have a very special guest here with us today, Mia Taylor from Heiko Tax. Mia, welcome on.
Thank you.
So we've been doing a little bit of a consulting work together, and Mia's been having some awesome success the past couple of weeks that we've been working together. So wanted to get her on here. So Mia, I'll kind of turn it over to you if you want to tell people who you are and what your business is and what you guys do.
Yes, so we are a tax advisory firm. We advise clients on how they can reduce any of their taxes, create some tax savings for them, and do some long-term planning around financing or finances and tax. And then we realize those tax savings by preparing their tax returns at the end of the year. That's essentially what we do all year round for clients.
So, Mia, what was the problem that your business was facing prior to engaging us?
Yeah, so our issues were not getting the right lead assortment or the appointment assortment. So we were just marketing on Facebook. We change every 7 days or sometimes every 2 weeks to make adjustments for our ad copies, things that nature, but not getting the right type of client or the right type of prospect on the
Yeah.
appointment. And so we ran into Daniel, or I did rather, from, just asking about those issues. Like, you're probably going through this particular problem. And so, yes, we were. And I was like, okay, if you have a way of solving it, that'd be great because we've been trying all year and
Yeah,
we've,
because you have a sales team too, right? Or a salesperson.
but I recently acquired the salesperson
Okay.
after going through some sales training. I acquired the salesperson to take, to be able to handle the call or the appointments that are going to be coming through. So I
But
knew,
either way, like the quality beforehand, right? If you're showing up and 80% of the calls aren't qualified, it's going
yeah,
to be hard to close anybody if they can't
yeah,
afford the stuff to begin with, or they're not somebody you can help, you know?
yeah. So yeah, and that's exactly what we were dealing with, unqualified prospects. And
Mm.
so, with Daniel coming along, we made some tweaks, just things that we've never heard of. I could tell you that for a fact, because if we heard of it, we would have implemented it by then, because every 7 to 14 days we were adjusting our marketing. So, um, so yeah, so we implemented what Daniel told us to do, and from there, with onboarding a salesperson, in that month alone, we were able to generate $13,550, and then we have some carry forwards of that into October.
Why did you specifically choose to engage our services over any other company that was out there?
Because you pointed directly to what the issues are, getting unqualified leads, and pointed out the activity that we were currently doing,
Mm.
and giving us a like something to try to test. Like, hey, if you probably do this, it will probably help out. And that was a major game changer. So testing that without even taking on services to see it actually work is what got us going, like, yep, we need to hire this guy to like train us and mentor us on how we need to manage our marketing. So
I
yeah.
forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot I gave you guys the tips before even
Yeah,
doing
it
anything.
was it was a tip, and it was like that one tip that made the world of a difference, because we
Yeah.
did not know that you could do that. And
It,
and we say, yep, we're gonna do training, because I'm sure there's a lot more that we need to know to make our marketing work. So
totally. So, was there anything in particular about the consulting that was so effective or that specifically like really helped you?
how to go about targeting your ideal client, using more of the psychology more than anything versus the old way. So we've got a nice lesson on how the market has changed. For me, who's a learner who likes to know that kind of stuff, that was very insightful for us to make decisions or be comfortable with decisions because of the fact that the market has changed. and dealing with that fact. So yeah, so that was the most essential, and that's what helped us produce those results by taking action right away
Yeah.
on those changes. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you've been a great action taker. You know, some people come in and they just don't take action on anything, and then they wonder why they don't see results. But every week, you know, I gave you something to do, and you went in and made those tweaks. So that was awesome because now you're seeing the results. And speaking of, as a result of implementing these strategies, I mean, what's the outcome been for you?
Yeah, well, one, it has really freed up my time to do videos. Something that I've been stressed about is trying to do videos. So having more time to do the videos, having the salesperson there to handle those calls, and I have more time to review calls now. Before, I couldn't do any of that.
Mm,
So it kind of opened that up. Um, and then with the new closed business, that definitely helped. We were able to affordably increase our budget, and that's because of the revenue, the new revenue that came in. So
that's awesome. And I
it's
know earlier you mentioned the problem that you were facing was the quality that was coming in. Can you speak a little bit in terms of the quality that's come through since we started working together?
Yeah, so we do have a higher quality of leads coming through that are very interested. And they have different pain points that we've learned from those quality of leads. And so that helped us create new ways of communicating to them prior to meeting us, to handle those objections. Just because it's the first time that we're actually getting our ideal clients and hearing uh, in real time what the pain points are or what is it that they value. And
Yeah.
so now we're able to address it.
Yeah, something I like to say is that mo money, mo problems is false. It's mo money, different problems. Because the
Yeah,
people you're talking about now probably have way different problems and they articulate those problems way differently than the unqualified people you were originally getting on.
absolutely.
So big ups to Biggie, you know, but mo money, different problems is the
Different
way that
problems.
I like
Yeah.
to. So how has your business changed since achieving this outcome?
Uh, well, in terms of change, I would say revenue wise, we are targeting our year-end goal that we're trying to get to. Um, but as far as the change in business, it's helping us become a more organized. I feel like because now that we have the appointments on the books and we have the recorded calls and we can monitor those calls for quality, just to, ensure quality and things of that nature. It's really professionalizing our process and our firm. And I'm sure the image of our firm is definitely shifting because of those processes that we are now able to put in place, because of, the uptick in revenue where we can make those investments.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where do you feel like you guys would be if you hadn't engaged our services?
We will probably be stuck, not making a lot of, I think I would be probably cutting back. Like, oh,
Mm,
we got to cut back. We got to cut back because we're not getting the revenue that we're looking for, and I probably wouldn't have been able to get my um, business development manager on board. I probably wouldn't have been able to increase some hours with the staff, just nothing. Like it would just be stalled. So
mm.
I'm glad we're going down this route. Want to continue to go down this route and be advised. Just so that way we're up to speed. Like good, because this is something that we have to look at all the time. You know,
Yeah.
it's very serious. Yeah.
Well, and there's always, you know, in my eyes, there's always that opportunity cost, right? You don't know what you don't know, but more importantly, how much is it costing you
To
to
not,
not stuff, right?
yeah,
If you knew how to do $1 million a year, you'd be hitting $1 million a year, right?
right.
Somebody's only at $300,000 a year. That opportunity cost is $700,000 annualized for not knowing how to get to that $1 million. right?
Right.
You guys specifically, like you said, your problem was that you guys were getting a ton of crap leads in the door who
Mm,
either couldn't afford it, right?
right.
Or if they could afford it, it was like one in, however many leads that came through, So,
Mm.
yeah, kudos to you for pulling the trigger on that because I can tell you when you talk to qualified prospects, there's just there's a certain level of ease that's like, okay, I know I'm talking with people who can afford my stuff and
Right.
actually need my stuff, you know?
Absolutely.
So if anybody's on the fence right now and maybe they're wanting to either speak to us or engage us, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I would tell them, um, it's if you're on the fence, it's you getting you're in your head. That you need to, just if you know that there's a problem and you know you need to take care of it, and you know that that's a fact, then react to that and move forward. Because if you don't, the problem is just going to continue to persist until some point where you're just out of business. So I think it's super important to just, respond to the fact that I need this and I need to give it a try because your facts align with it. It's not like a belief, you have the real numbers. You see that you're declining and that you're spending more and not getting any revenue in, and you know that there's a huge difference with your marketing. So I would say I would run with those facts and move forward, to see some actual changes.
Awesome. Well, Mia, thanks so much for coming on here. And you guys heard her. If you're on the fence, go ahead and book a call with us. And thanks again for taking the time to tell us about your journey, Mia.
Thank you. You're welcome.